16 Most Pathetic Performances of the 2016 NFL Season. Sports News Online. NFL, Green Bay Packers at Philadelphia Eagles. Inspired by the Washington Redskins wasting an opportunity to take control of the NFC's final wild-card spot after a listless Monday night loss to Carolina, we look back at the previous 15 weeks of the NFL season to pick the 16 most pathetic performances the league has seen in 2016. What makes the performance deserving of such an ignominious honor? There's no one criteria. It's a nebulous list that includes games with Super Bowl hopefuls, teams fighting for the #1 draft pick, and everything in between. But for the purposes of this list, when you know, you know. James Lang, USA Today Sports. 16 Dak Prescott vs. Giants. 17/37, 165 yards, 1 TD, 2 int, 3 sacks, 45.4 rating, 10-7 loss Week 14. The Cowboys rookie, after starting 11-1, was horrible against the Giants last Sunday night, leading a few chuckleheads including Jerry Jones to start whispering the R word around Dallas. This quickly became an overblown debate about Prescott versus Tony Romo, and since the idea of Prescott getting benched was so absurd, every sane NFL observer rushed to his defense, as they should have. One bad game shouldn't ever lead to a benching. But lost in the frivolous debate was the fact that Prescott played really poorly against a defense that seemed to have figured him out, the harbinger of bad things to come this January, perhaps. Whatever it is, diverting attention from an important story toward a meaningless story is just about the most 2016 thing ever. 15 San Francisco 49ers SD. Los Angeles Rams, 28-0 Week 1, MNF. The dreaded late Monday night game in Week 1 lived up to its lack of any hype with the worst, most inconsequential game of the season, a 28-0 drubbing of the Rams by a San Francisco team that hasn't won since. Los Angeles had the look of a team that had 0-16 aspirations, with its young quarterback not cracking 4 yards per attempt, its star running back getting less than 3 per attempt, and its mustachio coach somehow setting the usual 7-9 bar even lower. That's what made the happenings in Week 2 all the more stunning. 14 Los Angeles Rams D. Seattle Seahawks, 9-3 Week 2. Football returned to LA with minimal expectations, and the Rams and Seahawks lived up to them like a showing of collateral beauty. For just the second time in 4 years, an NFL game failed to produce a touchdown as the Rams kicked 3 field goals to Seattle's 1 for a mind-numbing 9-3 victory. Seattle has laid other eggs this year. The pathetic 14-5 loss to Tampa on Thanksgiving weekend